Today I'm down at Thruxton Circuit because we've got a car to feature, and it's quite an interesting one, a special car shall we say. It's relevant because it is the track attack beast, known as Plastic Fantastic. It is the Vauxhall Chevette HSR. Dealer Team Vauxhall were Vauxhall's racing division, and they really wanted to get Vauxhall's name on the motorsport map. To do this, they decided they wanted to go rallying. Now, they had several options and several cars they could have chosen, but what they did was they went with the very humble Vauxhall Chevette, shoved a massive engine up front, flared the arches a bit, and made a rally car. But not just any rally car, a rally car for Group 4 rallying. Now, part of the terms and conditions for entering Group 4 rallying was that a manufacturer had to produce 400 models of the rally car, but for the road. It's a fairly simple ask. Many manufacturers were capable of doing it. In fact, they had the time, they had the technology, they had the molds, they had everything. So what they did was they put all that together, they made their rally car, got it all signed off, and then they had the Homologation Special, the HS, the Vauxhall Chevette HS. The Chevette rally car was an absolute monster. It had 250 horsepower, a double overhead cam engine, 16 valve, and it was just absolutely crazy, especially when it came to tarmac surfaces, hence why I think Thruxton is a perfect venue to film this car. The road-going HS versions, however, were a little bit different. They had 135 horsepower instead. They could propel you from 0 to 60 in roughly 9 seconds. But you've got this in front of you, the HSR. That's slightly different. You see, a lot of people tend to think the HSR has had a bit more power because, of course, interesting body panels. In fact, this very wing here, and of course on the other side, and the bonnet, in fact, you can probably just about see, it's all fiberglass. There's no real steel to this car. Half the car is plastic, and that's because Vauxhall decided to go for the lightness route, which really paid off for this. Down here we've got chunky rubber at the front and at the back. In fact, the back is just crazy. It's almost like a Formula car at the back. It's just a marvel of what a company is able to do when they really put their minds to it. Make no mistake, the HSR is an incredibly rare car. Only 30 were built in the first place, and now, sadly, due to a few crashes on the roads, there's 27 left. But in all the time these cars have existed, to lose only 3, that's not bad going. The thing with these cars is they were built in 1978, but some of them, like this very car here, were not road registered until 1981. The bodywork on this car is not just for show. It also has a practical purpose as well. The bulge here makes more room for the engine, but also provides a bit more of an aerodynamic flow to it, sweeping the air over the top of the roof. The arches here, they bulge out, but overall, all these things combined, there's obviously a lot more to it, but all of these combined means this car at roughly 100 miles an hour produces 40% more downforce than the standard Chevette. Meaning if you chuck this onto a B road behind any modern hot hatch, it will stick to the rear bumper of that car like a waft to a jammy bun. This car we're featuring today actually started life as the HS model. It sat like this for 1.5 years in the showroom before Vauxhall decided they were going to turn it into a HSR version. Why? Because they could. After this, it sat for another 6 months as a HSR in a showroom, not really being touched or used or looked at, before becoming a demonstrator for 3 months. Only after these 3 months did it become a road-going car. Finally, somebody actually bought it. Do you know who bought it? A little old lady to use as her shopping car. Can you think of anything more perfect to be used to go to your local supermarket? I can just picture her now, turning up in the parking space, sideways of course. She'd get out, go in, get the shopping, come back and leave in a cloud of her own tyre smoke. It's just a brilliant thought, isn't it? The HS is a very special car to begin with, but this one is even more special. You see it's had the Stroker 2.6 litre kit put onto it, which means now it's producing 200 horsepower, 271 newton meters of torque, and it'll go from 30 to 135 miles an hour in one gear. One gear! And that gear is top gear, 5th gear, which of course all that power goes through a dogleg gearbox, which is better for competition use because of course quicker shifts between 5th and 4th and 3rd and 2nd. But do you want to know the best thing? Although all this power has been added to this car, it retains its lightness, still 920 kilograms, which makes this ridiculously good fun. It's loud, it's crazy, and it's an absolute riot. The thing about a car as special and as rare as this one is you'd think it would be hidden away in a heated garage for most of the year, only being brought out on the sunniest of days in the back of a covered trailer. But no, this car is genuinely used. Owner Terry tells me when he bought this car back in 1988 it had 40,000 miles on the clock. Now it's got 125,000 miles on the clock and it's just had a recent respray. Hence no decals on it, but I still think it looks magnificent. It's simple but it's effective. The thing with a car like this is you've got to remember it's not specifically for charging up and down motorways. It's built for fun. It's built to be the best of what Vauxhall could do at the time, and I think that's absolutely what they've done. This car's been all over Europe with camping gear in it, and I think that's exactly what this car is all about. Not specifically camping, but going off to all these different countries all around the world, finding the best driving roads to go down and tackling them with ease. And also, just being an absolute hoot to drive, look at, and just generally admire. Just look at it. Plastic fantastic, everyone.